Welcome to my channel, Crochet Characters with Gio, where I'll be helping you create characters you have been searching for. Before we can actually create any characters yet, we need to know the basics of crochet. My channel is a beginner friendly, so let's get these basics down, shall we? The first thing you need to know is where to start. And by this I'm referring to what kind of yarn and hooks we should be actually getting to do such things. Um, the way that you can actually know what to get, to start off, you can get anything, as long as you get the basics down first, and then after you can start incorporating different types of yarns, mixes you can say. But first, let's try to get the basics out of the way. Alright, so the way that you can actually know what to get is by looking the yarn. So let's say you go to any crafting store and you find a certain yarn that you want. Like, you can go ahead and pick it, and the yarn pretty much tells you everything you need to know. So it tells you of course anything, the brand, it tells you how many yards it has, how many ounces. It tells you right here the actual color, spring green. So for example, let's say you can't find it no more, but like and you ran out and you need more, you can actually just look up the yarn brand, and then look up the actual name of it, which in this case is spring green, and that way you can actually get the same yarn. Alright, and the next stop is it tells you right here, also has a little diagram. Like, there's like a couple of ways on you getting the actual yarn out. There's always going to be a method that each ball of yarn will have. One will be either get it from one of the loose ends, or a yarn that's been wrapped around. So in this case, there's one already here coming out, so that'll be one of them. And there's another yarn over here that indicates the second part, which is in the illustration of number 2. There's sometimes number 1 as well, but most cases it always is number 2. Alright, and the next step is finding out what kind of hook you need for a specific yarn. Every yarn is different. Some are thin and some are thick. So the thicker it is, the hook's gonna be more bigger, and the thinner it is, the hook's gonna be more thinner. So for example, on this one right here, on this green ball right here, the spring green that I have, it indicates that it needs a 5.5. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in just a little bit that we can see it. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh man, like, yeah, it's my camera, I'm sorry about that. But it says 5.5 right there. See, right there. And also, like, there you go, 5.5. And on my second one that I have over here, the orange one that you saw in the background, same concept. For this one is, I love this yarn. Well, if you've seen it before, normally it's always in Hobby Lobby. And this one, basic orange, right there, orange. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. It's basic orange, and sometimes it has like different kinds, like orange, dark orange, light orange, or whatnot. This one right here, it says it's a 5 right there. It's a 5 hook. And normally when you get the yarn, when you want to get the hook, it tells you right there on the actual hook when you buy it. So for example, this right here, it says right there, a 5. So this will be ideal for this one right here, because that's what it's calling for. And the green one is actually a 5.5. For in this case, it'll be this one right here, 5.5. Now you can use a smaller one depending on the project that you're using, but it's more recommended just to go off of right now the actual need of the yarn that the hook is for. That way you can actually, like, be more efficient in a way and don't get stressed out, because when you actually use like a smaller hook, it tends to like be more tight, like so like first let's try to get the beginnings out first. So but you can do though, you can do so. All right, so to begin with we're gonna go ahead and start with this one right here. Let me move the camera up really quick. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with the basic, the one that I was mentioning, and it's called the single crochet. You might have heard it before, or maybe family member or friends might have ever crocheted or whatnot. But this is a channel, it's a beginning friendly again, and we're gonna go ahead and be teaching you the basics. So on this video we're gonna be learning the single crochet. So to begin with, you want to get some yarn out, of course, just how I have it right now. And by any start, we need a foundation. The foundation is the one that's gonna help us, to start the momentum of keeping it going. So for example, on this one we're gonna be chaining, and that's what it's called. So what I do, I go ahead and put my arm just like this, and I put the yarn right over it. Okay, I hold my thumb just like that, kind of like if it was like a like aiming, like a little gun. All right, so on this end over here, I wrap the yarn over that finger over again, just like that. Okay, that's all I'm doing. All right, so on the next thing, I kind of close them in together just a little bit. Right when I have them over, I put this one right here, the string one, I put it right over the other one. Yeah, right over the other one. Hold it, hold them two, lift it up a little bit, and you see it right there. That's what you want. You want to loop it, let it go, and just like that. And then you just close it in. Alright, let's do that again. Alright, so aiming, loop it, bring him in, hold him. When you're holding it, don't press on it too much, just lightly. That way when you can pull just a little bit, and what you're pulling is the other side, okay? And that way you can actually just bring the other loop, the other yarn, the one that was crossing, the one that we had. That way you can bring it in. Okay, so with the hook you just grab, take it out, hold these two, and there you go, and you created a chain. And that's the beginning. The beginning is pretty much the I won't say the hardest, but just like the start, of everything. Okay, so right after you do that, you're gonna start chaining. So the first thing, you don't want it to be too tight right here, because if you kind of like put it too tight, it's gonna be kind of hard to put it back in, because you'll see what I mean right now. So just a little bit loose, just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start. And so what I do, you don't have to copy me exactly on my holding, how I hold my yarn, like, because normally I always wrap the receiving yarn, the yarn that's coming out from my ball, I always wrap it around my finger. It's kind of like a winder, you can say. But like, this is how I do it. You can follow it, see if it sticks with you and you like it, then go ahead and continue. But if you feel that it's more comfortable in a different way that you're doing it, then by all means go ahead and start that. You want to be as most comfortable as you can. Alright, so right after you create your foundation of the chain, that's the starting point. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and chain. So this hook right here is gonna go ahead and grab the yarn. So behind it, drop it down, and it slowly grabs it. And you're gonna be dropping in right there inside of that hole that the hook is in. So in it goes, and there you go. You just made your first chain, and then you're gonna go ahead and start the next one. Okay, you got 2 chains, just like that. Don't worry about right now about being picky with it. You just wanna you just want to start learning the basics, the foundation. Okay, then afterwards you can, you have time for fixing it up, you can say. All right, so you got one, and then you can go ahead and get another one, two, and the following just pretty much just flies. Again, get another one, pass it in again, three, and again, I'm gonna go and grab it, put it right in, four, again, another one, five, okay, so again, grab another one, slowly, and it goes, six, okay, and again, here it goes, and it goes, oh, sorry, again, and it goes, seven. All right, so you can always count, like, hey, like, how many do I need? How many do I have so far? So by any chance, let's say that a pattern or a book or whatever you might be referring to as you're trying to make something, like it says like, oh, you need to make 10 chains, or 11 or 12 or whatever the amount is. The way that you actually check that out is you have to count them. So for example, right here, this is the first one. This is the first chain, so that's one. Then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got 6 already so far. And then where we're at right now, it's 7 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and be making 10, well 11 to be precise. So 7, this will be 8, again 9, let's keep on going, 10, and then one more, 11. All right, so again, before you can do anything, you just want to make sure, go ahead and count them yourself again, that way we can all be in the same track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. All right, so that's a foundation chain. All right, so to start doing the actual single crochets, and all right, so the next thing is going to be, so we're not going to be doing the whole chaining no more, because that's the beginning that we needed. So the next part, so every single point that you just counted, every single little loop that you saw, like right here, that's where the single crochets are going to be going into. So okay, so right here, this is going to be the first one we're going to be going into. All right, so our hook's going to go in here first, so tilt it a little bit and in it goes, just like that. Okay, and after it's in, we're gonna go ahead and pass the yarn, this one, which again, this yarn is coming out from our ball. Okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and spring it in, just loop it, like hook it, just how we're doing the chain, hook it, okay, so hook it and just drop it down. And pretty much, since the hook's already in that little hole that you put it in, is by you pushing it down is gonna be dropping it in the hole that you went through. So once you have that, you're dropping it back in. Once you drop it back in, it's gonna go ahead and come out with 2 little strands. Okay, see, 1 and 2. All right, so after that, you're gonna go ahead and pass your feeding yarn, or receiving, let's call it feeding yarn. The feeding yarn, we're gonna go ahead and pass it through these 2 right here. Okay, so just like that, just swoop it in, 1, and that's it, and that is a single crochet. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next one, just like that. Remember, there's a little hole, so put it in, there you go. And then afterwards, just let your hook drag it down. Okay, there you go, see, and there is 2 strands right there, just how we had it right now. All right, and again, we're gonna go ahead and grab the feeding yarn, and then just with your hook, just swoop it in. There you go, see, there you go, and there you go. See, you have 2, 1, 2. Okay, so by the end we need to have 10 single crochets. So again, let's go to the next one. And then it goes. We got 2 strands, bring it in, that's 3. Now the next one is right here, so in it goes. Now strand, put it in, 2 straps, swoop it in, there you goes another one. Again, in the little hole, down the actual hole again. You got 2 straps, now you're gonna go ahead and pass it through. Okay, so again, you can count them how many you have again, just to make sure. So again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the next one. Bring it in. Okay. Six. Okay. Again, I see another one right here. 7. Bring it in. You got 2. And you go. 8. No, wait, how many you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th one. Alright. So here we go. Again, bring it in. You got 2. And it goes. 8. Okay, so you got 2 more. 1, 2. Alrighty. So here it goes, and it goes. Okay, you got one. And then the last one, you can see it right here. And it goes. And 2 straps. And you go. So there you go. So you just got 10 now. So that's pretty much the foundation. This part right here was the foundation part. And this is the single crochets that you added on top of it. So now you can actually start doing the project that you needed. But you need a foundation in order to start anything for the majority of the part. Okay, so we had 10, so I'm gonna go ahead and let my little hook go for right now, just to explain. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's how much we needed. So we got 10 now. Alright, so the next part, let's say like, alright, so what do we do next? So now, depending on what you're doing, you can continue on, or if you just need this part, you can just, cut it, but I'll show you though. Okay, so for the next part, I'll put it back in my hook. Alright, so here it is, right? So I just finished my single crochet. So the next thing, I want to start the next row. So the next row will be just like how you were chaining in the beginning. So I have my little ball right here, my little hook, you can say, and I'm gonna drag in the feeding line, the feeding yarn, and it goes, and there you go. See, and that's one single crochet, no, one sorry, one chain, and there it is right there. All right, so I'm gonna pull a little bit more yarn out from the ball. Okay, so now, like, to continue, we're just gonna go ahead. We can't go like this, so we're gonna move it from the front to the back, you can say, just like that. Just move it just like that, so that way you can have all of these single crochets more disposable, because you can't go like that. You can't, it's gonna be too hard. So the main thing is that you need to move it, lay them out the other way, so just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start just how we did it. And again, so now it's gonna be slightly more easier, since you kind of like you can see where the single crochets are at, instead of doing the from the chaining, from the foundation chain. All right, so for example, like right here, you see these two right here, 1, 2, that's 1. So you're gonna go ahead and put it in. There you go. And we're gonna go ahead and drag in the feeding yarn in, and there you go, you got 2. 1, 2. Alright, so then after that we bring in the yarn, so there it is, 1. Okay, again, so okay, so bring it in, 2. All right. Swoop in. 3. Okay. Here's the next one right here. Okay, there it is. So bring it in. It goes in through both of them. And then you pass the feeding yarn in. Okay, so you got 2. And then it goes. So just like that. It's a lot more easier when you have an actual like stitch already in there. So just like that. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel rushed at all. Like if you have to like pause it or for some reason, pause it. Like I don't want you to feel frustrated either. You know, you just want to relax. Because if you relax and everything, it comes out more better, more clear, more neat. So you'll notice that within time. But like, you know, there's no frustration going on in here. It's, you know, it's a hobby. It's something to calm you down for say, or something you wanted to create. So don't feel like frustrated or pressured to go faster or anything like that. You want to make sure that you take your time, you know. And this hobby art for say is really I guess patient wise. So you need to have like a little patience. So alright, so I have already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so let's go to the next one. And we go. Here you go, swoop in, just like how we did to the other ones, and there you go, there's an 8. Alright. Okay, so we got 2 more. 1, 2. This one doesn't count because that's from the foundation. That's from the first one that we did. I mean the last one from the other one. Alright, so 8, that's why it's important to count. 8, again, 9, and then the last one. Sometimes the last one's kind of hard because like since it was a switch, so you see them right here, 1 and 2. Try to put them in. See, sometimes it won't let you, but if you can just use your nail, pass it through. Okay, there you go. 2 little straps, 1 and then 2. See, 1, 2. Okay. So from there, you go ahead and pass them through. Oh, hold on. I messed up. Okay, 1 and 2. Alright, so in it goes. Okay, so just like that. Alright, so 2 again, go in, and there you go, then that's 10. See, and this is pretty much 2 rows already. 1, 2. You know, you already count the foundation stitch, but 1, 2 is pretty much the first row is pretty much the first single crochet that you made. But now we have the second one, so that's good. So now we got 2. So again, like you can just go ahead and for the next row, right? Remember, every single time that you end a row, you always chain, unless instructed not to do so. But the majority of the time, you always chain 1. So again, you flip it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through it. So in it goes. Bring out the line, the feeding yarn. 2. Go ahead, pass it through again. There's 2 right here. Pass it. Go through it. Again. Pass it. Go through it. Just like that. We have this right here. There we go. And there's just the next one. Okay. Just like that. And again, you can see the last one right here too. Pass them through. And again, just like that, you chain again. And then you're ready for the next one. Now for example, like I'm gonna stop right here already, but like for example, let's say you have like 10, 20 or whatever rows that you're making or that you're required to make, like there's always going to be a point where you have to stop, maybe, or maybe just stop completely, or you're going to add something. It all depends. But let's say that you need to stop completely, right? And you don't want to lose it, because if you're not careful and you just let go your hook, and for example, let's say you're doing something, you're not paying attention, if you pull this yarn, it starts to undo. It can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like you can really go do and redo your work if you're seeing that you messed up on something. If you added an extra stitch, or you're missing a stitch, or whatever the case may be, you can undo it. So that's a good thing. But let's say, like, for example, you did your work and everything is correct, and you don't want to undo what you just made. You want to close it. So so how you do this, like, you want to seal it in a way. So what you want to do is just how you were chaining it, but instead of doing anything, just pull out on the string just a little bit, half enough, let it go, and get some scissors, and then just cut the feeding line. Just cut it. Okay, and when you do that, just pull out the string. You see this feeding line? Yeah, just pull it out. Okay, so there you go. So that creates a knot and that holds it together. So just like that. So just pull it, and there you go. See, and you just did it. Now later on I'll show you how to like sew it in and whatnot, but I just want to make sure that at least I taught you the basics, which is a single crochet. We'll be making more on the different stitches that we'll be using here, so that we get familiar with them and friendly. So yeah, so again, I see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches. So there you go. If you want to go ahead and continue on making 10 rows, and then at the end just cut it, just how we did it right now, and you have what those call it, a dishcloth. Yeah, so that's the most basic thing you can actually make with such stitch with the number of rows, and you can actually I guess clean or whatnot. So yeah, so this is how you do the single crochet. And on the next video we'll be actually making the next one, which will be the half double crochet, and we'll be continue on with the other stitches. But this is the first one. Remember, don't get frustrated. Take your pace, and if you actually finished it and you want to do another one, and do it again. Practice does make perfect. So the more you're familiar with it, when, for example, let's say we're making a character, and let's say like, okay, on the next step we're gonna be making so many single crochets, or so many halves, or doubles, or triples, or whatnot, or like decreases. You'll know what to do, because you have already the practice to say like, oh, okay, I know what he's talking about, let's go. I know how to do that, and you don't have to be stopping and just going on with the flow. So practice does make perfect. If you are feeling frustrated, or your arms feel like really really tight, or really like it's that feeling, or it's really sweaty, because sometimes when it's sweaty you can't really make it. You can really make the actual stitch, because it's the actual hook is falling off from your hands. You're not gripping it right, it's not coming out right. Just take a break. There's no rush on this. Just take a break and come back when you feel good. When your hands are not sweating, feel frustrated, and you want to keep on going, just come back with it. Don't feel frustrated at all. This is not like a art to be frustrated. So yeah. So on the next video, I'll see you then. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by on Crochet Characters with Gio. Bye bye.